are forever.
Hi everyone, I'm Melissa.
I'm Bear.
And today we are looking at our past Amazon purchases.
Yes, and it should be fun because we'll get to talk about ones that we really like and
ones we don't remember at all.
Yeah, you think there'll be some of those?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I just briefly glanced through.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All
so
right.
we first used Amazon in 2008, which makes it about 12 years since our first purchase. So there's some purchases I'm guessing that we've given away or we might not have. So I think it'll just be a long kind of fun video, just a chit-chatty video.
Chit-chatty it is.
So I'm going to use your phone and go back to 2008.
Is that all the further back they go, by the way?
Yeah, I think they go back as far as your history will go back. Like if we used Amazon prior to that, it would have started earlier.
Okay.
So we purchased two products. Both of them are about the same. It is the Rust-Oleum Tub and Tile Paint.
Okay. So I see is April 6th, is that what that says? April
That's 6th? What it says.
Okay, so that was when we were still in Pennsylvania.
Definitely in Pennsylvania at our house that had an old powder blue tub.
Yes. Yes. And at this point, we weren't preparing to move necessarily. We were just upgrading the bathroom, and we felt that the cost of a new surround, we would take a shot and redoing it with paint before we actually sprung for the new hole.
Yeah, so Bear sanded out the entire tub and masked everything off and probably popped up the drain.
Yeah, I don't remember about that.
And painted the entire tub. I might have a photo on my blog of that.
Okay.
And it turned out pretty well. It's paint specifically made for like enamel tubs.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And we did it, and for some reason we purchased this, which you can still buy.
Okay.
And then 2 months later, we purchased a second one of these by a different company. So I'm guessing that we didn't like one of them and we wanted to try a different company.
Okay. I was just wondering if we perhaps felt we didn't have enough coats necessarily on.
Well, it could be. I don't know why we would have went with a second company though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, one was a roll-on, one was a spray-on, I think.
Okay.
We tried the spray-on first. I don't think that one worked as well.
The coverage.
Then we tried on the roll-on, and the roll-on worked, and we used that painted tub for about 5 years until we were able to upgrade the entire surround. Mm-hmm. And it worked great.
Yeah, I think so. Sure. It was absolutely worth the,
I think it's $30-something at this point.
Yeah, if you're just looking for a fairly quick, inexpensive upgrade, that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So those were our first Amazon purchases. Mm-hmm. Then we are into 2011. I don't know what happened between the several years.
Yeah, that's really weird. There's something went wrong there. We surely had to. Yeah.
I think we had a gift card somebody had given us for Amazon, and I was like, what are we going to do with this? So we obviously used it for the tub paint, and then we forgot about Amazon. And two purchases in 2011. The first was for a refrigerator water valve. Very exciting stuff here.
Okay, that was for we had a refrigerator in Pennsylvania with the water in the door as well.
Yes.
So if that valve went bad,
you knew how to fix that. Bear was quite the handyman. Still is.
We replaced that anyways.
And the second item is a drill bit. 214-piece titanium coated drill bits.
Okay, that was for Dad. That's that red box of drill bits.
That was a Christmas present because we purchased it early
Christmas
December.
Present, yeah.
Oh, a red box. You even remember?
Those are the kind of things that I always felt semi-guilty about because as Dad was getting older, he didn't need as many tools. But that's what I didn't know what else to get him. But I knew I was going to eventually end up with them anyway. So
it's just like buying yourself.
Myself drill bits. Yeah.
So then our purchases actually really gung-ho. We are on board with Amazon at this point in 2012.
Yeah, but we still didn't know Amazon was going to rule the world at that point.
Seriously. Yeah. We order from Amazon probably almost every day.
Well, I mean, I think it's no exaggeration at all to be like, there's no way we make it through a week without ordering something.
Sure. Yeah.
They're just
we order as much as we can. If Amazon did groceries in our area, I really feel like we would do that too.
Well, you definitely would. But
I would.
Yeah, I don't know if I would. But
in fact, I get most of my groceries online, and sure enough, I use Amazon.
It's easy if you only eat two things.
Yeah. The first thing in 2012 was Wii Ski for Nintendo. It's a Nintendo game, a skiing game.
Sure.
This is right before Thanksgiving, so my mom and sister would come down for what we would call a Thanksmas. It was Christmas at Thanksgiving, and we would celebrate Christmas with my family when they came down in November. So I purchased this for my mom and sister and myself to use, and it was great fun. My mom, exceptional at Wii skiing.
Well, this is before you got sick too.
Oh yeah.
So you were actually pretty good at the balance part of that as well.
I feel like I wasn't.
No, I remember specifically people saying, like people. I mean, you guys talking about
sister,
it,
yeah.
talking about how you were, and you yourself said you were pretty good at the balance part of it.
Oh, I don't
But
know.
I mean, what else could you expect? Because why?
Because I was in gymnastics.
Used to be in gymnastics.
Yeah. Then we ordered in May, so this was like about several years after, another tub and tile paint.
Well, I'm sure it gets chipped and stuff. So, but
Yeah,
still,
so this is about 4 years later. We ordered a second kit.
still, again, totally worth it because
Oh yeah. So I think I remember dropping something and like chipping it.
Yeah.
So I guess we had to buy a whole nother one.
Well, just to freshen it up, I'm sure.
Yeah. There's also a Rode Pro Universal plug-in cable, I think for a cooler.
Yeah, it could be that. Let me see. Yeah, can I click in? Is it?
Sure.
Okay.
I think we lost
Oh, yeah,
or
that's
left
what it is.
behind a cooler plug.
That's a. Well, I don't. What do you call that accessory? I call it cigarette plug accessory, but it's so old now. Nobody has. You know what I mean?
A cigarette plug, yeah. We used to have a cooler. Bear's mom got it for him before we got married, before I even knew you, that went from cold to hot. So it was like a refrigerator, cooler, or you can keep products hot. So when we would travel for long periods of time, we would pack most of our food because
we would just eat on the road.
Yeah,
It
to
was
eat
kinda-
cheaply.
I know that was kind of fun because you'd make sandwiches like, oh, we're.
Yeah. So I think we left behind a cable at some point, and we had to order another one.
Okay. Yes.
We then gifted the cooler once we realized we weren't going to be traveling because of my condition to my sister and brother-in-law.
Yes.
You also ordered a Porter cable drill set in 2012.
Yeah. Well, that's a cordless drill set, but it's an impact, so it's different than just
Do
regular.
you still have it?
Yes, the Porter cable. Yes.
You still have?
Yes, because you can use that. Yeah, I mean the really good ones now, but you can use that to take lug nuts off of wheels and tires. You know what I mean? Like if you jack the car up.
Sure.
It never really works to break loose the lug nuts I've tightened, but
It tightens everything way too tight.
Once I get it loose, then you can use it. But the good ones would still. But that's what that is. That's an impact wrench, a little bit more than just a drill.
I'm glad you still have it.
Yeah.
We remember most of this stuff. I didn't think we would.
Yeah.
2013, I probably have several dozen orders, so I will just touch on some of the more memorable ones.
You mean like you're not going to say like, oh, we ordered shampoo, which we didn't or whatever, but
Yeah,
that's what you mean.
we might have ordered shampoo.
But you're going to skip stuff like
Yeah,
that. Okay.
I ordered Pentrex Penetrex. It was the world's #1. This must have been when my knee was starting to go bad. It's a numbing cream. It had really good reviews. It was like $20. I don't remember it working. So
Well,
maybe don't order that.
Not for your disease, certainly it's not going to.
I didn't have it back then. It was just I had torn part of my meniscus, and they had 3 surgeries they did on my knee just to try to fix everything. And with the last one came the disease. We also had some really fun toys, and I think these were for Kristen's kids.
Okay.
Kristen just came down with her 5 kids.
From Pennsylvania.
From Pennsylvania, and we see her about once a year. She drives down with the kids and stays on the island, sometimes in our friend condo, sometimes a bigger condo. So we definitely knew her well enough for us to buy the kids Christmas gifts in 2013. So we've known them for at least 7 years.
Oh, we've known them longer than that. I'm sure from when we were in
I
Pennsylvania,
don't
they were.
know. That's crazy to me. They've all grown. One is getting married.
So, in fact, just today on their Facebook post, they got the keys to their new house. That's why they upped their marriage, so they got a house now. They can get married and move in together. But there's pictures of them.
Yeah, so they should be getting married, I would think, within the next week or 2, I think.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. So we ordered them a lot of Mellissa and Doug light catchers and like scratch off the black pieces of paper that have rainbows underneath, and you scratch it off. ordered a lot of that.
When is Mellissa and Doug the name of the company? Okay,
It is. It's a famous toy name.
Okay.
We also ordered caffeine tablets, which I think were for you.
Sure. Yeah. It was, yeah.
Kraft Asian toasted sesame dressing, which I loved and ordered by the 6-pack according to Amazon.
But you can't eat that anymore.
I can't eat it anymore, but it was delicious. I would eat it on raw spinach and just dip my raw spinach. It was so good.
I wish you back up probably just a little bit about the caffeine pills. When I was probably maybe a little more serious of a lifter, I still lift and work out, but if you, instead of buying a pre-workout drink,
okay,
which is mostly just caffeine, you just buy caffeine tablets, just ups your heartbeat a little bit, so
your adrenaline is flowing a little.
Yeah, that's all the caffeine pills were for.
Yeah. You also ordered around that same time a belt, a lifting belt, a 6-inch performance belt.
Sure, yeah. Well, it's just if you're doing squats, you put it across your help support your lower back a little bit. Yeah. I was never a big squatter.
Do you still have the belt? I don't think you do.
No.
I think we sold it.
Or donated it or whatever.
I think we sold it. We had some kind of weight system
I had
in
free
Pennsylvania.
Weights. Yes, I had a little mini gym set up in the basement. I put pulleys up. And
then here too we had one.
We had, yes.
And we sold it.
Yes, now I just go to Planet Fitness.
Yeah, for $10 a month.
And sit in the shower.
Bear loves the Planet Fitness shower.
Handicap shower has a seat in, so that's the one shower I can be in that the nozzle's not here on me.
I know.
I can sit down and just
You're 6'6". It doesn't come off on camera because we've adjusted our seats, so I'm not this short, but you are really tall.
I'm actually coincidentally much better looking in person, if you can believe that. I know it's hard to believe, but
I'm glad you're feeling a little better. I got a TENS machine, so that's an electrical pulse stimulator, so I must have been not feeling great in 2013.
Well, you're on the way to being diagnosed, if not diagnosed at that point, but yeah.
I also bought a ton of lasagna throwaway pans. And I remember these, I ordered them in a 100-pack because at this point I wasn't well enough to be doing a lot of physically, but I could do a lot of cookie making. So I was making cookies and selling them and baked goods for graduation parties and birthday parties. Some of them I'd sell, some of them I'd just give away.
Yeah,
but
most of you just gave away.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We were invited to a graduation party for a close friend that you're lifelong friends with. You were just back in Pennsylvania visiting them.
Yes.
Not too long ago. Mm-hmm. And their son had graduated. And I remember, I'll have to put in some of the pictures, I made hundreds of cookies.
Yeah, that was one of the start of the downfall because that really...
Oh my goodness. And all of them were intricate cookies, sugar cookies,
decorated,
piped, and just all sorts of things. And my wrists at that point were I was oh, this is not going to be good if I can't do this. And I can't. We also ordered a bunch of the 5 Love Languages book. I love this silly book.
Yes, this is a great book. Yes, and I've recommended that later on in a video. I'll explain the one time just recently when I've actually recommended that book.
Did you?
Yes. Huh. I told you the story.
Oh, I know.
You'll remember when I started.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. Mm-hmm. So those were the more memorable, I would say. So I guess we'll do a few more years.
Of course, why wouldn't we?
Okay.
That's what the purpose of this video is for, right?
Yeah, I thought this was going to be more exciting for some reason. We have this big, exciting life we order things for. It's everyday stuff.
Yes, but some people be oh, maybe I could try that.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a bathtub they're we'd like to order 3 sets of paint for. And
I would recommend that if your tub is really needing an upgrade, but you can't afford a whole tub.
Yeah, you can't afford a whole tub, yes.
Yeah, you did a great job with that. And YouTube has tutorials at this point.
Sure, yeah.
I ordered some mascara, some calcium. This is probably where I get super serious about supplements, I would say, in 2014.
Okay.
Because I think my surgeries were 2012, 2013, or somewhere like that. So at this point, I've probably been diagnosed with CRPS, the nervous system disease I have. And I probably got a little bit more serious. I can see some of the things coming up about my eating and about supplements and vitamins.
Yeah, we're just trying whatever we could at that point.
So. Yeah. So I have some gluten-free bars by Pamela's Products. I loved these. These tasted like chocolate chip cookies to me. These were delicious.
We seem to have a bit of a chocolate chip cookie theme going on here today.
I think we cut that first bit out, though.
Oh. Well, we just said about you making all those cookies.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All right.
That would have been the third reference if we didn't cut that first bit out, though. I also ordered a scale, like a jewelry scale, and I still have it. It's working great 6 years later.
Is this the one that you can zero out if you can't see the thing? You can't see it, it'll stay on for a little bit after you
No, that's my shipping scale. This is like for grams of gold or silver. It's a tiny little scale.
I get you, yes.
You also ordered a 5-gallon paint can opener. It's this big orange.
Well, if you folks have ever bought anything in a 5-gallon bucket, like a paint can specifically, you know that, or if some of you out there, I'm sure, have perhaps used driveway sealer. It comes in those big 5-gallon buckets.
I'm sure they have.
Well, somebody out there surely has. Okay. So anyways, you know how hard they are to get off. Those are so hard to get off. Those lids are really on there, really tight, because they have to be, especially because it's like either paint or, like I said, asphalt, stuff that needs sealed because
chemicals.
Well, no, if the air gets to it, it'll be hardened. It'll be worthless. That's true. So they make the lids really clip on, so they're so hard to pry off. And you can only take a little bite at a time. You can't, it won't flip up. So this handle, you can go the whole way around.
Yeah, I highly suggest this.
Yes.
If you have like somebody in your life who paints a lot in 5-gallon buckets,
yes,
this tool totally great stocking stuffer.
Absolutely.
We also bought the Gianni granite paint. This is countertop paint. You can paint your laminate, not linoleum, laminate I think is the right word, countertop.
Yes.
And I've done this several times. And I've gotten better each time, but basically it's a system. You paint your countertop, you sand it, you paint it like a primer matte black, almost like a chalkboard paint. You take a sea sponge and you dip it into these mineral paints. And it turns out like this pretty granite, and then you top seal it. It's a whole sealer. It's the whole kit for about $100.
Yes, and you have done an excellent job every time.
Thanks.
But in fairness, you have to be there's a bit of an artistry to it. I mean, she's very good at nearly everything, in fact, but but seriously, but like it's like, what I mean, she took that, when you say a sea sponge, that's just like a natural sponge.
Yeah.
And you'd have to just do sections at a time, and then you stand back and you get this look like, is there anything drawing your eye to it? And so it's not as easy as, I mean, the actual process is easy, but if you want it to come out looking like you didn't paint your countertops, there's an artistry to it, which you have done.
I love it.
Yeah.
I loved doing it even when I was sick, because I could really, when I had my gallbladder out years ago, I did ours for the first time. I went with like a gray, and then we went with more of a white, and we still have it and like it. Mm-hmm. The top coat could be a little thicker, honestly, which is why I've done it several times over the years. But I highly recommend painting your countertops. Home Depot has it. I think Walmart has it at this point too.
And basically you can do, let's give them an example what that covers, like that one.
I'll put it on the screen. I don't know. It
Okay.
covers a regular size.
I mean, it's way cheaper than even replacing laminate.
Oh, for sure.
Way cheaper. It's just
it's less than about $100.
There you go.
And it does most kitchens.
There you go.
Unless you have
that's what I was
an abnormally large kitchen. And again, there's YouTube videos. You can't necessarily screw it up because you can just keep adding the mineral paints. And if you hate it, you can just go back and repaint it black. It's just a little time consuming.
Yeah.
A lot time consuming.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I just want to be fair.
I think most people could get it done easily in a weekend.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, because there's some dry time between
especially
the steps.
if you're not like super particular.
Yeah, I was a little particular.
Well, we're both particular, so it's okay.
We got some light bulbs. Some of those LED last 25
That's when they first come
years.
out. They're terrible though. Like when they first come out, you know how they're like slow to come on. They're like,
yeah, they're a little bit more.
They've improved them.
They're
now.
better now.
Yeah.
They've tweaked them.
Yeah.
I've also ordered. I have no idea what this supplement is. Methylfolate. I'm guessing it's a folic acid.
Yeah, I'm guessing this too. Yeah, that's something you would have bought.
Some black cohosh extract. Some kind of multivitamin, omega fish oil. Some pure organic cherry juice.
Okay.
And then there's some stars in here. I don't know if you saw those.
That's what
stars.
I was going to ask you about. What are those?
They are, I'll put the name on, star ornaments. I had a secret sister for church.
Okay.
We would do that every year, exchange names with whoever wanted to. And she specifically said she liked this kind of, I think it's pottery, Talavera pottery.
Okay. All right.
So I ordered her, it was Christmas time, so that was like her big present.
Fun.
Yeah. A pineapple cutter or an apple cutter? I think you used that.
Yeah, you just push
Do
it
we
down.
still have it?
No, I don't think we do because I'm not.
Neither one of us eat pineapples anymore.
Yeah, right.
We were really into pineapples there for a while.
Yeah, well, I was even making pineapple slushies.
Yeah,
yes,
that sounds good.
Which will bring me to another story at some point too. Well, I could probably just break for that story right there.
Sure, break.
Well, and this isn't even a musical reference.
Okay.
Although I will have those coming up shortly later on. But right now is the other night I came to you and I said, I realized there's been something missing in my life.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
You want to tell the folks what it is?
Yes, I've determined that, there's some things missing in my life that probably would have been an easy fix. And perhaps even now are an easy fix. And, we're going to try to rectify this situation. We realize we're going to try to make this situation better because, if you're missing something in your life and you can do it, let's just try to do it, right?
Tell the folks.
The folks, our viewing audience, I realized that what is missing in my life are more frozen Slurpee drinks. Because every time that I've gotten a frozen drink, like I'm talking like frozen Coke or frozen cherry.
Like a Slurpee.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? They're like, I don't know how to describe it, like an icy, maybe you get a Dairy Queen, it's like chunks of ice flavored, it's not that it's frozen Coke or Mountain Dew or whatever. Anytime I've ever gotten that, I'm like so excited and
so excited.
Yeah, and sometimes like when we talk about when we used to travel, one of the things that pops in my mind is like sometimes we'd go we're so crazy here. We'd go to Target, okay, and Target had like you could get a small
just for fun.
Yeah, you could get a small pizza, like a Pizza Hut pizza, a personal pan, or they had pretzels, but also they had frozen drinks there, and like it was like the soda fountain drink was there, so you could just go back and keep refilling. And I was like, so the other night I had a receipt for 7-Eleven. I'm on, these days if you get an app, and this story is really getting longer than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
But anyways,
people are on the edge of their seat.
Right, yeah. So you get an app, and then you get reward points or whatever. So I was there. So I had a thing for a coupon. Well, no, I had a thing on my phone for a frozen drink. I showed the lady and I was like, oh, which I invariably thought was going to happen. But she's like, well, I don't know. You're not using that now or whatever. So she actually handed me a receipt for one. So I got it the other night and I was like, oh man, these are so good. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Why don't I just get this once in a while?
Seriously, we live in the city.
We do.
There's like places everywhere.
Well, there's 7-Eleven literally in every direction from my house, not far from my house.
I know.
So, yeah. So I've decided I have to get a frozen.
What do you think? Like once a week?
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I have plans on perhaps going out later this evening to visit some of my friends where we'll be playing. And I'm sure to pass a 7-Eleven along the way. Why not, and then the next time we have a video, I can be like, I talked about getting Slurpees.
Yeah.
Well, I've started that process.
I'm very excited for you. Mm-hmm. Should we move on?
I hope that wasn't anticlimactic there at all.
No, everybody's very excited for your upcoming drink.
Yeah. All
right. Licorice root capsules. There's a whole lot of capsules. I'm skipping most of them. We got a Hoover Power carpet cleaner, the deluxe scrub. We had carpet in our Pennsylvania house, and we picked a really light Berber. We would have went probably pure white if we could have found something lighter, but it was like a light sand.
Well, we were always
color.
I shouldn't say always, but for the most part of our life together, we have like the light colors.
Yeah, like light blue, light gray, white.
Yeah. Except for when we were first married and we had like purple.
We went crazy. We got back from our honeymoon in Cancun and decided to paint every room the brightest of colors, like bright orange, shocking purple, lime green, blues. One room had 4 different colors.
Every wall was different color.
Every wall. Bear decided he wanted to do that. So it was just like craziness. Yeah. And for some reason we were okay with it there for a couple years.
Some reason we were, yeah.
And then all of a sudden we were like, nope.
Yep.
We don't like any of it.
And anybody out there, the married couples, they'll understand. We're like, well, we paint now. Let's just paint it all white.
I know we're
So
at the
we don't
point in
have
our
to do
lives. I know.
So we don't have to do any cutting or anything that needs touched up. It's like, oh, it's white. Just paint it white.
Yeah, but we've gotten really good at painting. Bear still hates painting. I love painting,
Yeah,
but admittedly don't do as much as you do
Well,
at this point.
well, the thing of it is, and it's my own fault.
Yes.
I'm so freaking particular. It's like those lines at the very top of the thing takes me hours to get that cutting in because I don't want it to be.
Yeah, you're perfection a little bit. Perfectionist.
Perfection's little.
So we bought the carpet cleaner.
But it worked well.
Great fun. I highly recommend a carpet cleaner. Seriously, sucking out all of that dirt and then spilling it out. Oh, it's so satisfying. I loved it. My sister carpet cleaned somebody's house the other day for them.
Oh, yeah?
An older person, yeah.
But, well, carpet cleans, you literally could clean your carpet every freaking day and there's stuff
I
coming
know,
out.
there's always something.
Well,
we don't have carpet here.
We're glad we have hardwood floors now. Or we have,
porcelain tile, yeah. Some more like really good gluten-free options. More caffeine. You were really into caffeine, I think.
Well, yeah, I lifted all my life, so pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went with, I must have like 10 of these Pamela Products gluten-free bars.
Okay.
A lot of those.
All right.
O'Keeffe's Working Hand Cream.
Yes.
That's good stuff. Sometimes you can find that at the Dollar Tree too.
Well, when we lived in Pennsylvania, the change in the weather would always, you'd be outside shoveling snow or some rural Pennsylvania thing that I was doing, my hands would get cracked in the winter, and that stuff helped them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. More calcium, some essential oils, more multivitamins. I'm going to skip so much of this because it's a lot of blood orange essential oil, empty capsules. I was making my own capsules with some, I don't know, whatever's going to be on this list here soon.
Listen, at any rate, people are there going, well, we don't want to hear more about Bear's Slurpee story, so continue on.
I can't remember what I first started put in there. I'm hoping it's going to be here. Some with a T. Turmeric?
Turmeric.
Something like that. I was filling up capsules with just a bunch of stuff trying to help. A Real Ease neck and shoulder relaxer. Was that for us?
Well, that would have definitely been for you because you were always buying things like that.
Yeah, for my neck.
Try to alleviate some of your...
I don't remember using it though. Are we sure it was for us?
I don't necessarily remember that, but yeah.
A free sample of oatmeal. I don't know why.
We also...
batteries with a charger, 9-volt batteries with a charger. We don't have that anymore.
We don't, but what I was using that for is when I was in the band, my remote stuff was all powered by 9 volts, and the band was playing, a couple times a week, maybe more sometimes. So that was a good thing to. Yeah,
we have 9-volt now, but not. I don't know where the rechargeable. When we moved, we just sold almost everything we owned that wouldn't fit in our minivan and the small trailer. And just started over with most things.
Yes.
I got some organic beeswax, organic coconut oil.
And why don't you...
Organic shea butter.
Well, what do you use now for your lips, you might want to say to the people?
Oh, one of our friends who we mentioned, Kristen's, one of her older girls, Jessica, makes her own lip balm. It's so tasty. It's so good. I like it. I'll leave the link below. Mm-hmm. And a few people have ordered it and mentioned, it's really good. She's getting really good reviews. The Garden of Life Vitamin Code Raw B Complex vitamins.
Okay.
I spend a lot in supplements just trying to throw anything I can at being healthy.
Well, I mean, you do your research.
Yeah.
You do your research, and if it looks like it's helping some people, you'll try it. But
And I try to... With anything I use personally, because I have so much time on my hands, honestly, I can see if it works for me and then take it out and see if I notice a difference and go back on and really try it. So the things I'm on now, like the kiwi for my skin, I know that works. I've tested it so many times and been off of it, on it. And not everybody has that kind of just time on their hands.
And I'm so glad you brought that phrase back up again, because I was going to go back to that for our first musical reference of the festivities today. Too Much Time in My Hands. That's a Styx song.
Huh, I would have guessed Paul Simon.
I'll be semi-impressed that you came that close, I mean, it's not like,
Styx.
It Styx, yeah. Styx is a rock band. And Paul Simon, yes. Okay, that's... Do you know that Paul Simon was in some sort of famous duo before Paul Simon? Do you know who that might be?
Simon and Garfunkel.
Nice. Yes.
That's just because the last name thing.
Okay, well, just one of the guys, probably the guy that wrote Too Much Time on My Hands. I know. I'm going to say the majority of stuff's probably was Dennis DeYoung, who is still alive. He's still around, and I think Styx still tours in some fashion. But I'm sure it's like most of those bands, it's various incarnations of the people that were once in it.
Sure, understandably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We have some Barkeeper's Friend.
It's like Comet.
Cleanser. It's the cleanser.
It's cleanser, yes. And it's good stuff because it doesn't scratch.
Yeah, you still use this, or are you down to magic erasers?
Well, yeah, I pretty much stay with magic erasers now. The only thing is magic erasers, you really got to, in particular, the stovetop.
The
black. If you don't stay after that, which I do every day, but no big deal, it'll make the little marks, and they're really hard to get off with the magic eraser, and that's when you bring in stuff like that. If you have
the barkeepers,
but you have to make sure you get non-scratch stuff.
Okay, we have some retinol wrinkle eraser. I have been using face cream since college, and I will just slather my face with basically anything on sale.
And that's a word, by the way.
Slather. Bear didn't know that was a word.
I didn't know that was a word.
Yeah. Some leather cleaner for purses.
Well, I'm sure it's stuff that you would buy.
That was we had a white faux leather couch. We got it for free. Do you remember that?
Well, we got it for free because we ordered it from Amazon once again. Yay.
No, I don't think it was Amazon. I think it was like Wayfair or something.
Oh, okay. We ordered from somebody. Brand new couch came. It was all white couch, leather couch, and it wasn't a big deal, but it had a few marks on it. So we just, said, because sometimes if you show them, they'll think, well, we'll give
10%
you 10% off or whatever, of your bill. So we showed it to them, and they said, oh, well, you'll just have to return the couch. What they said at first. Okay.
It was a big couch. Yeah. A couch.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to pay for it. And we're like, okay. But then it was like a little bit later, they're just like, yeah, just keep the couch here.
Yeah, they realized it.
They're going to have to pay to bring it back. So we ended up getting the couch for free, and just a couple little marks of which we couldn't see anyways, really. But
yeah, we weren't particular.
We weren't planning on getting a couch for free. It's
we really weren't.
That way, yeah.
I probably have a photo of that couch too. Uh-huh. Barkeeper's Friend cooktop cleanser.
Yeah, now that is definitely still out there.
Okay.
Some of that, yes.
Yeah, not that one from 2014.
Well, I mean, the first Barkeepers we referred to was like a Comet powder.
Okay.
This is like in a liquid, creamy. It's like a white creamy. It's gritty.
I like Barkeeper's Friend.
Yeah.
A pink pirate eye patch. Do you remember that?
Wow. A pink? No.
It wasn't for a costume.
No.
I was going to a chiropractor, John, a lot. And he was tracking my eye movements for the disease. And one of my eyes was like tracking, it was doing this thing where it was like,
well,
do you know what it's
yes.
called?
Well, I can describe it. I don't know what it's exactly called, but what he did, you could see, he had put a machine on her head, and then him and I could see the TV screen that she was trying to track, your eyes are trying to track on. One of your eyes, it should be like a smooth transition. One of your eyes would like
catch.
Yeah, just like a little bit,
really fast.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Instead of scanning like you should, it would just every once in a while.
So he was having me wear that to try to strengthen.
The
other eye.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it ever helped.
Yeah, I don't know that. Just might be something people have or not. It's not a big.
It wasn't a
problem.
Big deal.
It was just...
We also bought the portable sauna. We definitely have photos.
Definitely have a photo of that. Yes, that's a funny thing. Yes.
This was because of the disease. I wouldn't sweat. And now I sweat just fine. So I don't know what happened. We moved to Florida with humidity.
Yeah, but there was something that, again, back to John, who is an excellent chiropractor.
Yeah,
helped her.
He was so much more than a chiropractor.
Yeah, it's really unfair to even just call him a chiropractor. But one of the things he said, it's probably good for you if you had access to a sauna, which we didn't because you didn't belong to a gym or anything.
Yeah, but we lived in rural Pennsylvania.
Well, I mean, you could have driven to a gym about a half an hour away in some direction.
But at that point, with the disease, there's no way.
Right. But so you again do your research and found this little box that it
looks like a toaster cover.
It looks like a toaster cover with your head sticking out of it. Yeah, and it gets nice and warm.
It was nice and warm. I used it a bunch.
Yeah, I never. I mean, I don't use
I
it for,
gave it to, I think the drummer at one of our churches mentioned he wanted it, so I gave it to him. Ryan.
Oh, really? Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
CBD oil. I don't feel like that helped. I've tried that on and off since. I don't ever feel like that helps, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Some probiotics. Sweet Sweat Skin Cream. This is a cream that made you sweat.
This you still have.
Yeah.
Well, it's out there.
This is a tub drain stopper in blue.
Yeah, it's just a little
A rubber.
thing, but it's sort of flimsy. So when you put it over your drain, if your drain isn't completely closing, it'll,
Yeah.
pick up the slack.
That made the trip from Pennsylvania to Florida, but none of our spoons did.
Yeah, like we wouldn't possibly need spoons again, and there was just way too much trouble to load a spoon up. So you did an awesome job with, always saying, get rid of this, get rid of it. It'll be easier to do this, which I'm not good at any of that stuff. Yeah, seriously, she's great at that stuff, and all I really need is load that, don't load that.
I know it feels so mean to just
No, that's what I want.
dictate things for you to do, but
That's what I want.
you like it.
Yes.
Some magnesium, some more coconut oil,
Okay.
turmeric, vacuum belt. Did
Well-
we have a vacuum with belts at some point? I don't remember that. What vacuum did we have?
Every vacuum we've had until the Dysons had a belt.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so-
we must have had some kind of.
Yeah, we had a thing. Yeah, we just replaced the belt for it, and then, but also close to our house in Pennsylvania was it's a flea market, but it's just like a constant. This guy just has a building up that's
Like
full
a variety shop.
It's like a yard sale you've ever been to in the country, but it's a building now. So he had all kind of stuff out there you get for like $1, $2.
Yeah.
And so we had vacuums because I had a carpet in the basement as part of my gym, so I had old vacuums down there, and I'm sure that one's probably for the vacuums upstairs.
The good vacuum. Pharma GABA fast-acting vitamins for stress, I think that was for. Some silk pillowcases.
Okay.
This was for you.
Yeah, and again, my girl does a great job taking care of me. She's always like, I complain a lot, but I guess I shouldn't call it complain. My giant head, at nighttime, my ear starts hurting from laying on my side of my head, and I find it's best to go to sleep on my side. I always end up waking up on my back, but so my ear. So this was like another.
I'm sure this
was
was
softer thing.
Yeah.
She's bought me a donut pillow.
We keep trying.
Yeah.
Some buttercream. I must have still been decorating cakes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cakes. It's like a fondant type of thing.
Okay.
Some outdoor tongs.
Well, that was a grill. If we had a grill, yeah.
We did have a grill.
We did have a grill. Why I didn't buy those off of Dave out at the flea market I just mentioned?
I think this was a gift for somebody because we bought spices that same order.
Yeah, we definitely weren't. Those were not for us.
I don't think so. I think the guy who moved in down the road who liked tractors, John Deere tractors, which could
Dave.
just be anybody, honestly.
Yeah, well, that's Dave, yes.
I think his son bought a house.
No, Dave is the son. Randy's,
Dave is the son.
Yeah,
okay.
Dave's the son.
And I think I put together like a big basket full of stuff for him.
Yes,
I think
who,
that was part
by
of
the
it.
way, is one of the nicest guys in the world.
Yeah,
like,
he's
he's
super
so
nice.
Yeah.
Some ancient minerals, magnesium, something. Some topical gel roll-on, Cobrazole.
Yeah.
Some magnesium bath stuff. Again, so much of this is just over and over vitamin C. Your plastic drawers, you still have them. They're a storage system that measures, I don't know, somewhere around here. And has like all these little mini drawers. Those made the trip.
Well, I know I've told the story before, but should I retell the story about how
Now you have to.
Is it okay? Yeah. Okay. Well, when I was a kid, again in rural Pennsylvania, and I was a car guy and whatever, various things my dad was working on, you always need a bolt or a nut or somewhere, a washer for something. So I'd go back to my dad's shop, he was mostly a carpenter, so most of his stuff but he had other stuff as well. And he was very organized. People would come into his shop and be like, "Oh, this is nicer than my house," which they also said about when I was a little kid, our pig pen, which we raised pigs in, was super clean. So it was always clean stuff, but I would go and I'd make, "Dad, you have a bolt?" And he'd go, "Oh, take that coffee can out of there and dump it out." Well, to find a bolt, like there'd be all kinds of things. So you dump it out on a thing, you have to go through this. And my uncle Leo, right next door, who lived right next door, who I referred to, I've told you before, as Uncle Looko, because apparently I couldn't say Leo when I was a little kid. I don't remember that. If I'd go to his garage, he had all these little drawers, and he would like label them, handwrite label on, because you put the little tag in it, like 3/16 bolt, 1/2-inch bolt. So I'd just go over and Dad would say, "Oh, dump those cans out there." I was like, "Yeah, I'll just go over to Uncle Looko's and see if he has one." So I'd go over there and and it was so funny because it literally was like, these kind of things these are the kind of things you don't think about till you're kind of an adult in a way. Like I would just walk over there like it was my own house, my own place. It kind
of was.
Yeah. I even had a key to the garage.
Next door,
It was a key to the garage. I'd be in there at 9, 10 o'clock at night sometimes looking for a part or something. Anyways, so it was great to be able to do that. So now, and I'm sure you can maybe insert a picture of my...
I'm sure I've taken one.
I upgraded Uncle Looko's little system to now I have various sizes, those little slide-out boxes with them labeled, but now they're printed out and they're in alphabetical order and all of that.
And you keep an inventory too.
I keep an inventory of what I have, so that's why we still have that. Those are awesome.
Those are awesome. I can't believe those made the trip.
Yeah.
Whole bunch more cookie cutters and cookie stuff.
Okay, I want to see what this is.
The golf club cookie cutter?
Oh, is that what that is? A cookie cutter? It's
a
golf club.
Cookie cutter.
Okay.
There's a lot of purchases. My first hammock.
Oh, yes.
In 2014. I adore this company. It's an authentic Mexican company that sells via Amazon and on their website. We used this one outside and we brought it down. And then I sold it for almost as much. They really hold their value. And bought a all like tan neutral.
So say just approximately what that is.
I think it was $60. It's a family size. You can lay either way. Mm-hmm. And for me to take the pressure off of my body sometimes and just try to twist.
Well,
it's awesome. It's inside.
Initially, when we lived in Pennsylvania, we bought a hammock for outside.
Oh, that's right.
From Home Depot.
We did.
It had nothing to do with your health. We just wanted to,
yeah.
So both of us could lay on the hammock on the porch outside in Pennsylvania. And since then, we've never been without a hammock.
Yeah.
And now there's one in
the one room. In Home Depot, though, with Bear being, I mean, not now, but 250-ish pounds, you lost a little bit of weight recently. We'll explain that later.
Yeah.
And me being, like 150, we needed a bigger hammock. The one at Home Depot is like regular size, and this one's like huge.
Yes, it's wider and longer.
Nice.
Yes.
Some more caffeine pills. Oh, fish oil, stress relief. I don't use most of these exact things, so I'm just going to skip over them. A lot of baking items. A neon Buddha long sleeve shirt. I think that was to resell. Neon Buddha is a really good brand, and I don't remember having that for me. I'm pretty sure I was reselling that.
Do they have a logo that looks anything like a neon Buddha?
I don't know what a neon Buddha looks like.
Well, you know what a Buddha is, except it would be like a glowing
Yeah, I don't
Buddha.
know. I'll have to see. It's a good... And last one I'll go over because the rest of them are just supplements. Snow thrower cab. So the walk behind snow thrower you had.
Yep.
This is like an encased plastic cab you attach that you could stay dry from the elements.
And if any of you out there are in the snow belt areas, number one, I'm sorry, because I lived there for years.
We had a phone call. Now we're back.
And we were discussing one of the last purchase we were discussing was a cab for a walk-behind snowblower. And if you live somewhere where you need to blow snow, you will know that you will absolutely get covered with snow at some point. Because as you're blowing snow, all it takes is just a cross direction and you end up looking like an abominable snowman.
Yeah, I think it was $200, and it was a pain for you to install because it only went to 6'4".
Yeah.
So you had to...
But still, I mean, it's great because it just, it is just a plastic clear shield. It's not really a windshield or anything. But when the wind blows, I mean, it doesn't matter. you can't see or anything.
Yeah.
But it's a great...
We lived on a gravel lane where it was just our house and then somebody at the top of the hill mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And we shared the gravel lane. So then there's a gravel lane and then our
driveway
whole
off of that.
driveway,
Yeah.
which was fairly big because ruralness.
Yeah. Yes.
So you would plow up and down. Always with this? Or with
No,
a tractor as well?
I have a
feel
tractor
like
with a snowblower and
Yeah.
a cab too. That's
Yeah.
a big thing, yeah. So,
At some point we had a lot of tractors.
wow, I mean, we live in rural Pennsylvania, so
Yeah.
we had 2 acres of ground, plus my dad had 2 acres. I was helped take care of my uncles, was right next door as they aged. And
Yeah.
So,
No, I'm glad we had them.
yeah.
Yeah, this was a good thing.
That was awesome.
Did you sell this? I'm feeling like we must have sold it. 'Cause
I'm sure
we
it's-
didn't bring it.
We didn't, the snowblower didn't make the trip to Florida. Yeah. So I'm sure we sold it, yes.
We did have one particularly cool, cold day here where it did get in the 30s at night in like the dead of winter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really wondering if we were going to get snow, but it hasn't happened yet.
And we don't want to hear from any of you people out there like, ooh, only 30 degrees.
It's cold. Cold.
To us, that's really cold. We
Oh my
understand.
goodness!
Some
Even
people,
like
some people.
50, I'm so cold. So 2015 is the year we rented a house on Anna Maria Island, and then my sister got married, and we sold our Pennsylvania house, and then we came and we bought this house in November, 5 years ago.
Yeah, that was a very tense time because like our house was sold right up to the very day that then the guy it fell through, and then we had this house that we had to close on, so it was all but it all worked out.
It all worked out. My sister's wedding was like right in between there.
Yes.
And we were trying to pack, and I was so sick.
Well, I'm saying that the wedding return to Pennsylvania was a bad idea because it was really, really tough on you. But it was
We had
good.
to close the house.
Glad to be there for at least. Well, I'm talking about in particular. We had to go back for the wedding.
Yeah.
That was.
So we closed the house.
Was that the same time
we
we
did?
did
It was the same exact
Okay.
time. It just happened to fall amazingly well.
Yeah.
So again, I'm super grateful I get to have capsules and things like that. I'm going to skip some of that.
Sure.
So
It's just great that you have that easily available to you.
Oh,
and
Amazon.
Many people that can't get out.
or even
it's
afford
awesome.
that kind of stuff. I've really had the ability to try a lot of things for the disease.
Yes. And one of the great things that we really love about Amazon is, in particular, Prime stuff. If you order it and it doesn't work, it's so easy to send stuff back.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost to send stuff back.
Yeah, we
So-
try not to do that unless an item's really like defective.
Oh, sure. If it doesn't, yes.
Yeah.
It isn't like we don't like the color or something. But, I mean,
Yeah.
But the point is, if you try, say, a vitamin from Walmart, you drive to Walmart, pick it up, and then it's like, oh, this doesn't work. Drive back to Walmart, return it.
Yeah.
Which
Amazon.
is great. Yes.
I know.
Way to go, Jeff. We're proud of you.
We purchased for this house in December of 2015. This must be in reverse order here this year.
Okay.
Some crystal glass knobs. So all of our like cabinet doors and closet doors, Bear took off the hardware and replaced them with, and they're real glass because dropped a few of those and they shattered.
Well, none of that.
But they were inexpensive for what they were. They're gorgeous.
When we first moved here, the place was a nice shape, but it was weird colors, and so we just started from the top, painting everything.
And we really thought, because I wasn't able to do much, I was in a reclining wheelchair at that point. We really had the plan together, stick with me here, the plan together, that it was going to take months because we could live here.
Yeah.
And then you were up in like till midnight, 1 o'clock every night, and you got it done like so fast.
Well, I don't know about so fast, but yeah, we did. It was
The living room took 2 days for the entire living room, like every surface of everything, inside the closets and hardware and.
When we're talking about removing the hardware from doors, like it sounds like that's no big thing, but we literally had the doors removed. Every door in the house was. I just took them out.
You planed doors. So
I sprayed them because we had an airless sprayer that. We can't give a good review on those because
the paint sprayer.
We worked for no matter what airless paint sprayer we had, it'll work for a while, and then that's it. When we first moved, we were first married in Pennsylvania. We bought an airless sprayer. We did the same thing there in that house. We started from the top.
Oh yeah, we
sprayed
did.
all the
Several
ceilings.
times we did that house.
All the ceilings with that, and so it was a lot of work, but we're glad. And those are really cool because Dad, the house in Pennsylvania I grew up in, Dad built.
Yes.
Him and my uncle built together because, like I said, Dad was a carpenter, among other things. And he had all of our doors, the old glass doorknobs, and these are like a miniature version of this.
Yeah,
sort of
those glass doorknobs were still in the house when we sold it.
They might still be there.
Yeah, I'm thinking they'll still be there. Yeah. Some more countertop paint. This would have been for this house because I liked it so much.
Yeah.
Some Synthesix. This was like a protein powder you really liked.
Well, yes. Yeah, like I said, again, this is a supplement if you're lifters.
It's a whey protein. It has like milk casein kind of thing.
Yes, high in protein. But Synthesix, that brand of stuff, BSN products, I guess I should say, they're a little more expensive, but they taste so good.
You've tried a lot of those, and you really liked these. You said they were like more milkshake.
Oh, it is. I mean, there's no way you could tell it's. If any of you know anything about protein drinks, you're just like, ugh. But these were like, you could hand this to somebody, they wouldn't know it wasn't just a milkshake.
Amazing. Yeah. I tried it. I thought it was very milk tasting.
Well, it is milk tasting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, which is a good thing, I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I don't love milk tasting because the casein gets me super sick. Yeah. But some more Pamela's gluten-free bars.
Pamela's really getting a product endorsement. They're out the door now. Are they still around, I wonder?
They are still around, but they just had a lot of... I should try them again. I could still taste them in my head.
You should actually, seriously.
I think it was the chocolate that did me in.
Whatever, man. Seriously, because you have so little things that you can eat.
I know. I'm happy with the foods I can eat 99% of the time. I stick to them. I know what they're going to do for my body. They're not like the healthiest foods, but I won't get sick. And I get that, and I realize I'm not putting that on anybody else. Don't do what I do, but...
Well, not only, I mean, there's a little more to getting sick, too. I mean, certain foods, her body's so sensitive now, and she's so in tune with it, that it causes pain. It isn't just like, oh, that doesn't taste too good. Or, I mean, it'll cause you pain. So.
Yeah. Some Cottonelle. I think this was the year we officially swapped all of our toilet paper for Cottonelle.
And is this where we got the button, too? You press the one button?
Oh, the dash button. I forgot all about that. Amazon had buttons they would send to you that you could press, and it would reorder the product.
Automatically.
Anytime you press the button.
The only thing it would send you an email like, oh, you ordered this. Did you want to order this?
Yeah,
Or were you dumb and bumped the button? Don't say that. But.
I don't think they do that now. I think they have like virtual digital buttons.
Well, I'm sure our friend over there that starts with an A could do that if we said...
Oh.
Yeah. Order.
Put it on. Yeah, exactly. That's all you have to do now. Right. Aluminum foil. This is so funny because this is the first time I bought aluminum foil in a 200 square foot roll. And when I got it, it lasted me so long.
Yeah, we don't even use that much.
We probably have 4 or 5 under there because I had it on subscribe and save at the time.
Okay.
That's how you know you have a little bit of money, that you can afford to buy products at more of a bulk. And it's cheaper to live.
Yes, it is cheaper to live if you have just a little
bit more, rather than
every time you run out, then you have to. Yeah, of course nobody figures this out, but really there's time, gas money you drive to pick up a
a small roll of aluminum foil.
Yes, or we ran out of furniture polish. Like go to Dollar Tree to buy it.
There's your mom. I don't know why your mom always.
I have no idea. It's like I live middle class America for sure. Dad was constantly, he was a workaholic, so we weren't rich necessarily, but by some means. But every time I go to get something, Mom would always do we have any glass cleaner? It was like, oh, there's this much left in the stupid thing. Like, we need, why we, now when you go to the store, instead of buying one to replace it, buy 2. But she would just never do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Same way with us.
She must have just learned that from her mom. Maybe they were poor.
Well, they would have been, They grew up in, definitely.
That's not something life necessarily teaches you. Like, of course, unit per ounce is something that's on stores, and anybody can look at that. But that wasn't something that was back then. But I'm happy to have aluminum foil. We don't use it much.
And my girl does an awesome job of keeping stuff stocked. Seriously, awesome job. Because I don't know if during the course of our entire marriage, I can't remember really running out of just silly thing like that. Like furniture polish or batteries. Yes. Yeah, the thing's always full of batteries. If I need C batteries or D batteries. When I was a kid, if I need a battery, forget about it. You can find a battery.
You're taking it out of something else.
You wouldn't find it anywhere in the house.
That's my family too.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. And again, that's if you have the storage to do that.
storage and the extra,
and
just
money and the time.
Yeah, but it does really make your life much better.
It does make it much easier. Some more Pamela's.
Yeah, you're gonna have to try them.
They're called Whenever bars. I will try that. Mm-hmm. A coloring book. I think I probably ordered that for a secret sister because it's in December. So it was probably whoever I got the next year liked coloring books.
Okay, and we're passing up a lot of headsets, which I will briefly touch on.
You probably tried them out.
I did. Yeah. I did try different ones out because being a musician, I'm a little particular about how it comes through, and some headsets are so tinny and everything. But before they had the wireless, you'd have to be hooked to your phone, and I would, because I'm always doing something, I would invariably catch it and pull it out of my ear, and it would just make me so mad. Like, seriously, it was so stupid. I would just get so mad about it, but it's just like you rip it out of your ear. So once we cut it like that, it was so much better. And I have tried I realize there's ones now with no wire at all, but yeah, that's something you have to be really careful.
You have pretty big ears, too.
No, those are the ears that suffer on the side. Remember we early said about my ears?
They're good ears.
Okay.
We tried a wireless charging pad, but we have this one is a generic Dollar Tree one. It's an iRing is what the actual one is, but the Dollar Tree ones work just as well. We love these, and I'm not giving this up for a wireless charging pad.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
I'd rather have the magnetic plug, but we did try one, and back in 2015 we sent it back.
Yes, well, you just really briefly mentioned there, which I'm sure we'll get to it later, is now we have those wireless, the magnetic, you just boop in the end, which is
those are really nice.
Really nice too.
And about the same time, we ordered our first iRings.
Yes.
We love those things.
They're very good, but in our opinion, seriously, you can buy them at Dollar Tree. They're definitely better, no doubt, but they're not worth. What are those things?
I think my sister bought one for Christmas. I wanted a new one. It was $19.
That's what I'm saying. Or you can go to Dollar Tree and buy. Come on.
I know. I think I have a couple from Dollar Tree waiting for. My brother-in-law had an old phone. Yeah. And our phones are 3 years, so we bought his old phone, and we're going to upgrade.
Well, it's amazing how much we count on those rings now. Like I certainly
the iRings.
Because I hang it.
It's like a pop socket, but available to go flat in your pocket and stay out and be a stand, or you can just I drop things all the time, or you can hang it.
I have in my shower.
Yeah.
So you have music in your shower.
Super nice.
Yep.
We highly recommend that. This is going to be a silly thing, but we've used it a bunch. White washi tape. White washi tape.
Oh,
Anytime we were detailing and there was a little white chip that we couldn't fill in with paint or something. Yeah. Around sometimes the fans. You just put a little piece of white washi tape there, and this whole roll lasted years.
Well, especially with the popcorn ceilings, they're when we redo them, that's very thin, so sometimes they'll fall down, so it doesn't have to be perfectly smooth either, so you can put a piece of
there's little bits of white washi tape all around our house, I'm sure. I think I bought your aunt this. This is a shea butter ultra rich.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember how to say this. L'Occitane, I think. And this is a really good, one of these sell, I think, every second in the world.
Wow, really?
It's a super famous brand. It might even be more than that, 6 a second. And your aunt had really dry hands, and I was trying to help her. And now, just about every year, I buy her a different hand cream that she likes a little bit better. But every year, we buy her a hand cream.
Whose most recent birthday, I think a couple months or so ago, turned 96. And unfortunately, she's in a very nice retirement home, but like all of them, you can't, no visitors, so she hasn't been able to see any of her family. But she did say her daughter came and stood outside the one window, so they talked a little bit.
Yeah, and she's happy.
Yes. Oh, yes. It's oh my gosh, yes. Because Dad, when he had to go to retirement home, he did not.
We tried.
But my aunt Lucille, on her own, realized it's probably better for her, and I was so proud of her for doing that.
She loved the activities. She's having a ball.
Yes, it's so wonderful.
Yeah. Some hanging file folders, just basic things for our new house.
Well, the file folders in particular, I have tons of music printed out, so they're all...
Now you have a tablet. We upgraded him before the virus and the pandemic and everything to an actual tablet for your songs. But you had printed copies of all your... We still have them.
Yes, and
because you probably hadn't gotten used to the tablet well enough to trust it.
Right. Always when I'm with me, yeah. And the biggest thing with the tablet, for some reason, I have a foot pedal page turner because some of my music's 2 pages, and for some reason, even though I'm so careful about only hitting that once, it'll skip, and then in a live performance, if it skips, you have to try to go back, and then if you go back 1, will it go back just 1, or will it skip 2, and then you have to go ahead? I mean,
as a viewer of your music, you would never know.
Well, thanks.
You told me I missed a whole bridge. I'm like, I had no idea. Like,
well, that's one of the benefits of playing live. I don't use tracks or anything, so I play it live. So
you can make it up as you go.
Exactly. Hey, that's an old musician's joke. The guy says to the musician playing, "Hey, buddy, don't you know anything new?" And the musician replies, "Look, I'm making it up as I go along. It doesn't get any newer than this."
That's funny. Some double-sided tape. We still use Scotch double-sided tape.
Yes, that's
so much better than Dollar Tree double-sided tape.
And
Scotch.
It's funny how much we need double-sided tape.
Yeah.
All my earlier mentioned labels I have on
double-sided tape.
Double-sided tape for that. Yes.
I've sent that out in Patreon packs. I should order some more of that for the next round. I always try to do things that are like useful, and that would be something that you don't always have.
Yeah, so Scotch brand, if you're out there. This is Bare and Mellissa saying, hey, we're down with your tape.
Some more Cottonelle.
Yep.
We recently, because of the pandemic, had to just buy whatever toilet paper we could, and we went to single ply. I'm telling you, that might be a game changer for me.
You like the single ply?
I don't like the single ply, but because I don't like it and it's a fairly new experience, I'm sure I had single ply growing up. I'm not saying we've always had double or triple ply.
We're trying to be too haughty here saying we've lived our lives with double or triple. Okay.
But because it's a novel experience and it's new for me, I'm realizing don't use as much toilet paper. And I think I'm getting more uses per roll. I haven't figured it out exactly. I'm going to do that. But I think it's cheaper per use somehow.
Okay. Well, here's something. This is a genuine question I would like anybody out there that would like to answer this in the comments. How, this seems like a silly subject, but how do you use toilet paper? When I use toilet paper, I pull out 2 sheets at a time and rip them. How do you take, do most people just pull a bunch and just rip it off and roll it around their hand, or how do you?
I think the pandemic has caused people to reevaluate the toilet paper.
Well, good. So this is a good place to ask this question because I see you just you'll just pull out an arbitrary.
I go one-handed. I'm not using 2 hands for my toilet paper.
But I'm saying there's no, you're just one might be this long, one might be this long. There's no to you. You just pull it and rip some off.
It depends every time.
But no, hold on though. I'm serious about this. I know it sounds like I'm being silly, but do you say it depends every time. Mm-hmm. So do you give a conscious thought that, I'm going to need a longer piece of time? You do?
Yeah, sometimes I pull it and too much and then I have to do the
okay. Yeah. So do you think most people do that? They just pull it out and rip it off, or you think they roll around their hand, or what? I
don't think most people are rolling around their hand with the pandemic. I think people are trying to use less toilet paper.
Well, hey, we'll be anxious to hear from you, the viewers.
That's a good place to stop and change our battery because it's blinking.
Okay, good. All right, we'll be back after a battery change.
I always like to point out this rag because Kathy, one of our viewers, gave it to us.
Oh, nice.
It was a T-shirt, but I wore it to death, and then I just cut the good
Well, we have a whole kitchen drawer with many little folded rags that we use.
Yeah, reusable. Mm-hmm. Okay, next item, the paint sprayer we were talking about. This is the HomeRite Finish.
Airless sprayer. It's electric.
It's a paint sprayer.
Airless paint sprayer, which we had, a better one, and Stanley or something from Home Depot when we first tried it. And all of them seem to work okay when you first start with them, but for some reason they end up not working well.
I don't know if it's clogging. Bear would clean them really well with paint thinner, and you were really
Here's the
scrubbing.
Thing. We always see that we watch a lot of, again, our exciting lives. We watch a lot of HGTV stuff, and invariably we see people with a sprayer that just it's this nice wide. We're just where's that? We never get that sprayer. But when they work, I did do every closet door and everything. I had them off and sprayed them outside, so it worked for a while. But then it's just
I think we sold it for parts on eBay for about $25.
Yeah.
I want to say we might have even donated one.
I mean, it was good enough for what it wasn't that expensive to start with.
Sure.
So we got through what we needed to do, but it would be so nice if it would just keep working like that.
Yeah.
We would always keep it here.
Hopefully at this point in our lives, we don't really have to repaint.
Hopefully we never have to paint anything ever again. Yes, I'm okay with that.
We
You
picked
like to
this
paint.
color. Yeah, I love to paint.
Yeah.
We recently painted the table and chairs. One of our neighbors is moving, and she gave us for free a table and chairs. And now we have little picnics outside.
Yes, yes.
And we painted them because they were like burgundy and tan and white and didn't match.
I wonder if anybody out there is wondering what color we painted this.
Aqua. We had some border paint left over that I just dumped in with some white and some other blues. It just like, whatever.
Yes.
The next item is your Santa shirt. You have button-down collared shirts for your gigs, and
Yes.
we have some seasonal ones, and this one you wear in December.
Which we're hoping will return one of these days.
Yeah, maybe in December.
Hopefully. I don't know, but understandably the retirement homes will be the last place to open up because of COVID. But
Yeah.
I did do one outside gig where I was outside a screen porch post-COVID, but
Yeah,
past
that was like April, I think.
that I did that.
I think so. Maybe May. It was just one.
Right.
Yeah. Some Christmas cards with like a beachy theme. That was our first year in this house.
Okay.
And it was before I was back to thrifting or eBay because of how sick I was. So now we can find Christmas cards, beachy Christmas cards at the bins. And I have like 2 years worth at this point. But
Well, yeah, and we keep trying to cut those down a little bit. We do. I mean, like
we were sending like
well, if we,
really over 100 Christmas cards.
because I grew
a
up in
year.
Pennsylvania, I lived there
Yeah.
all my life, so
Sure.
but
Yeah. No, understandably so. Some more Pamela's gluten-free whatever bars.
They're really coming through.
I know. Batteries, multivitamins, D3. These are chewables, like candy.
Okay.
This is the over-the-sink, like roll-up
It's
dish
a very good purchase
holder.
you found, yes.
We love this. We found one at the bins, and I sold it just for a few dollars to one of our subscribers. It was like brand new. It still looks brand new.
Yes, and it's also, it's easy to cut them
Yeah.
because they're like rubberized, so if it doesn't exactly fit your space or whatever, you can...
Yeah, we got the rubberized one. I think it was, I'll click into it. I'm going to say $20. They probably still have them. $21.98 at this point. And it's all rubberized, so it doesn't rust at all.
mold so much. It's like
the
silicone.
mold is, it's great. We love ours.
Yeah.
Highly recommend that purchase.
Well, we don't by our own choosing don't have a dishwasher.
Yeah, we took out our dishwasher,
Yeah.
which we realize is controversial.
Yeah, so well, I mean, it's not really. If you like a dishwasher and you have a big family and it's
Yeah.
only the two of us, and
Yeah, and I don't.
you don't cook, really. I mean,
I don't.
because So.
I boil water for ramen noodles.
Okay, well, sure.
Sometimes I put a little salt in the water just for fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Seasoning. That's our one seasoning we have in the house.
Actually,
Salt.
we have cinnamon now.
Oh, that's right, I did
You
buy
got
that.
into baking
I
theme
did
there
buy
for
that.
a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
A Culligan faucet mounted filter. I moved away from those, and now I have pitchers that add magnesium to the water because magnesium is good for people with nervous system disorders and nerve related issues.
Okay.
I love the taste of magnesium water. I am hooked on the magnesium water.
Well, this human sitting next to me consumes more water than anybody I've ever known in my life. A good thing. It is a good thing. I'll always I'll tell you to drink, but I've never known anybody to drink as much water. She drinks water constantly. We've showed you this before. I'm sure it's huge, but you drink, and you're very sensitive palate too, just how your body works even.
Yeah.
So if the water doesn't taste quite right to you, you don't like it. So that's why
I drink
you
a lot of water.
drink a lot of water.
It's yummy water. I'll have those further down if we get to those. Some Splenda. My boy likes some sweet foods.
Yeah, everything's
You are a
sweet.
Splenda fan.
Yeah, I put Splenda places nobody would think that you would actually use it. Like I use Splenda for baked beans and corn, if I make corn or whatever. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
nice.
And like if I buy Cool Whip, Cool Whip's not quite sweet enough, so you got to add sugar in the Cool Whip or Splenda in the Cool Whip.
I think some microfiber sheets for your bed. When we moved to this house, we didn't bring our beds. So we could just pick whatever size. And thankfully, that's one of the things we splurged on because I'm in bed a good bit.
Yeah.
So I got a twin extra long.
Yes.
Extra large?
Extra long. Extra long.
And you got a California King.
California King.
Because Bear's 6'6", and he doesn't really fit lengthwise on most beds.
Well, a king and a queen are both 6'6" long.
Okay.
It's just that
a king and a queen?
king and a queen are both 6'6" long.
Okay.
The king is wider than the queen.
Okay.
California King is 6'9" long, but it's not quite as wide as the queen, which is fine. Or it's not quite as wide as a king. I don't know about it in relation to a queen, but it's definitely not as wide as a king. But that's 3 inches extra long.
So because we had never had those beds, we didn't have to, but we gave all of our sheets away with the beds we sold or gave away.
Sure.
So we had to buy, these were microfiber. You thought you were a microfiber fan there for a while.
But it turns out I'm back to cottons.
Cotton.
Yeah, it's all cotton.
We're cotton fans now. I put my thing down. The silicone drain. I still have that for my tub too. I am not necessarily a bath person, though I do take occasional baths just for my body. And I feel this helps with my hair.
Yeah, it does. It's just this thing, instead of all of the hair going directly down the drain, it'll get caught on this, and then you can just throw it out.
Clean
or
it out.
flush it.
That's totally worth it for
absolutely.
Longer hair.
Yeah. And I mean, certainly, if you're somewhere where you would have to be concerned about your drain getting clogged, or your septic, if you have to have a septic system or something.
Yeah. We don't necessarily have to do that here. They take care of all of that stuff
Mm-hmm.
for us, thankfully. A lot of Pamelas.
Yes.
And then I think I sent something to my sister. I feel like these groceries, like Rice Krispie bars, and I think I sent her or my brother, who you probably will never see on camera. He has visited us here in Florida, but I sent somebody groceries. I don't know, all fun groceries.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of them.
I'll say, that's good.
Some needles, some cardstock and paper for our printer.
Okay, by needles you mean sewing needles.
Sewing needles.
Yes.
This must have been when I was getting back into eBay, because I have like invisible thread needles. Like I must have just been boosting my sewing kit a little bit.
Okay.
Some more coloring books. I have no idea who was getting all the coloring books at that time.
Either.
More Pamela's. Want to do that one? Do you even know what that is? It's
That's
a shower.
a mildew-free shower curtain.
The inner liner curtain.
The inner liner curtain,
Is it called a curtain?
Well, yes. I mean, I think of the curtain as the outside portion, but it's it's a shower curtain. Yes, yes.
The Dollar Tree ones we were using would mildew the plastic inside, and we just have like a cotton. We actually found our shower curtain. It's just pure white on the side of the road for free. Just happened to be white and perfect.
Hey, great with us.
But the Dollar Tree ones we were finding, it was a really lightweight and you couldn't wash them and they were molding. So we finally splurged and bought this one for like $10. And I've had it since we've moved here, I think.
Yeah.
So that was a good.
Yeah, and you can actually throw it's heavy enough plastic, unlike the Dollar Tree you wouldn't want to do this with.
Yeah.
But put it in the washing machine on General Cycle and it'll crumple it up a little bit. And then you put it in the dryer, once again, not too long, but in the dryer for a little while, and when you hang it,
we recommend that. Some poison ivy soap, which I sent to my sister. You want to tell the poison ivy?
Oh my gosh, her sister Lisa, first of all, is just awesome because she does so much stuff, and the whole family is blessed with beautiful genes. So she's beautiful, and she's this person that works outside and gardens. And if you saw a picture of this girl, you'd be like, there's no way this girl works that kind of work like that.
Crazy, like mulching jobs. And
she's very susceptible to poison ivy. And so she gets poison ivy so much, I feel so bad for her. Yeah, and so you got her that poison ivy stuff. Yeah.
I then tried, I'm going to mention this specifically, a menstrual cup. So I didn't use tampons until we were married. Finally got on board with tampons. Now love tampons. I'm not going to tell the tampon story. It's too much.
No, that's fine.
Okay. And then I was trying to get away from just any kind of products I have to repurchase, not only for the environment, just for the cost. of
the convenience, yes.
the convenience. I tried the menstrual cup thing. I have tried numerous menstrual cups. Every month I would just be stressed about this, and I never figured out how to do it. So after about 6 solid months, every month, trying multiple times, I just gave myself permission to throw away the menstrual cups, back on tampons.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about it since.
Great.
And it's just been a little bit of like a burden eased. Like, I totally get why people would use these. I just couldn't figure it out.
Well, that's okay. It's all right.
So these were like $6. I finally splurged on the $30 one, but that one didn't work either. I thought maybe the $6 ones.
Didn't we like donate that to somebody and like you can make a popsicle in this? Isn't that what we did?
That's funny. Some socks, some Kind bars. Oh, a pair of drumsticks.
Oh, yeah. I have my set of vintage blue Sparkle Ludwigs that drums was my first instrument, so I've been in various bands as a drummer. But they're here, and I keep currently trying to scare up a gig with I get to play drums once in a while, which was on its way there, but COVID put a little hurting on that. But I ordered a set of drum brushes, but these happen to be, they're like nylons, they're not wires like the old original, and I have those too. Wire drums, but these are...
You still have these from 2015?
I still have the generic brushes that are made out of little, I guess you would call them, they would look like a solid straw. Like a solid straw, only not quite as round. That's what they're...
Okay.
Yeah.
And you also, we must have been like on a music kick here, some guitar strings it looks like.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some lectin. It's a binder you add to natural foods. I'll put it on the screen. I used it for a while and then didn't use it again. It somehow like binds to fats, and it's supposed to be easier for your body to process in some way.
Okay.
Again, it was just something I was able to try.
Well, it must not have worked very well for you.
Yeah, plus it came in like a huge thing, and I was hardly cooking.
Yeah.
So you have to add it in like as you're cooking an item.
But for example, is that something you could add to one of your foods? Like if you eat ramen noodles now, is that something? What would that do for those?
I have no idea. I don't know that I ever knew. I think that was just a recommendation in passing somebody gave me. And I was like,
sure,
I'll try it.
Yeah.
But then I didn't know what to do with it past that. Some more empty capsules. So I must have been putting those. I don't know. Some dye. Why did we buy dye? That's a weird one.
I don't know what you were dyeing. Something you were dyeing, definitely.
Either. I don't feel like I dyed anything.
Okay.
Some fish oil, some sunthymine.
Well, probably if we're going to tell people what stuff is, you should be able to say it, or skip it.
No, I'll just put it on the thing. It's a word. Sparkling ice. Was that a drink? I think that was a drink you liked.
I don't remember that.
They were like lemonade-y sparkling water kind of drinks, I think.
Okay.
It's more Pamela's.
Mm-hmm.
This was my mom. This is when my mom started to order from Amazon under our account.
Okay.
And she still uses our account.
Great. Yeah. Yes. You still have this, don't you? The wet brush, the little
I
tiny
do
one
have.
that's
We
in the
bought
car?
a small little wet brush, and I keep it in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just in case I ever need to put my hair up or anything. Again, I think these are funny. These are disposable cups I brought to a Thanksmith in New York that have noses printed on the side. So when you drink them, your nose will look like it changed the shape. So I picked those up.
Mm-hmm. That was fun, yes.
Yeah, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Some citronella candles. Another hammock. I think this one was for my sister, though.
Okay.
I think we sent that to her.
All right.
Some shampoo for oily hair. I am still struggling with oily hair 5 years later.
Well, probably not something that's ever going to change if you...
Oh, my mom's had it changed when she hit 50, so I've got about a dozen years.
Oh, okay.
10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
Well, there you go. Something to look forward to.
Seriously, right?
Yeah.
Let's find something to
wrap it up with.
Yes,
because we're not going to go through you might be bored with this by now.
At this point, we have like hundreds of orders.
You must be bored with this by now. There's an actual drumstick order.
Ooh, drumstick order. Sharpies. Sunscreen.
I'm trying to find stuff to go out with a bang here.
Oh, how about those?
Oh, that'd be a good place for us to wrap things up because our first official beach day this year was June 22nd, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I kept a little note in my phone. I don't know why. but we order from Amazon noodles.
Yeah.
The float noodles.
Pool noodles.
Pool noodles, yes. And so that was one of our things
Our
there.
first pool noodle order. They're inflatable. So when you collapse them down for storing for winter, super easy.
Yep.
There's a pack of 6. I think they were like, I'll just click into them and tell you what they are now. $16. I don't think I paid that much for them 5 years ago, but there's 6. Some are wiggly and some are straight. We still have them.
We still do. And I have a little hand pump that's way great for stuff like that. It's so easy to do since they're trying to blow them up. Even though it's not that much for a noodle, it's still...
Well, you have big floats,
I have a big float, too, yes.
Not like huge floats, but like bear-sized floats.
Well, it is pretty... It's wider is the thing than most floats, yeah.
Yeah, but the noodles are nice because pool noodles, if you just get them from Dollar Tree or the bigger ones, you can't deflate.
Yeah, they're solid. They're
so
solid.
sometimes I like to be a little bit further in the water, so I can just let out a little air and just go down in the water. It's a very nice thing.
Yep.
So there's the conclusion of some of the things we purchase on a regular basis. You'll see some trends in there.
Yeah, we saw a lot of Pamela trends we have to look back into. We're not sure what happened there.
I can still taste those in my mind. They were delicious.
Okay, sure. Well, yeah, we'll maybe do that at another point somewhere because we ended with like 15 or 2015 there.
2015.
2015, like 5 years worth of stuff.
Here's the thing, we order more and more. So this year we've probably ordered definitely hundreds.
Oh,
because now for Patreon too.
Yes.
Bulk orders.
And we find out how well it works for us, the whole system. So we just, we have like 2 recycle containers full of stuff.
Boxes.
Sometimes I have to go around our community and like I'll go over to the swimming pool and get the recycle bin from there.
Or the people next door have allowed us to use the recycle. They don't live there and they're hardly ever here, which is so nice.
We steal their recycle bin once in a while.
Yeah. Okay, so that was that part of the video. Now the rest of it is Bear went through a little bit of a sickness.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So in a good bad news scenario, I told you I would start off with the bad news, but I think in this particular case, I will, briefly deter from that for a second to say that I am fine. No, I'm way, way better now, but I was the sickest I've ever been in my entire life. And that includes the episodes of last year, some of you may know. 2018, where I went into septic shock because we're not going to go into that story, but I was in septic shock, which was bad enough on its own. But this particular thing, I've been having ongoing stomach, when I say issues, it's just kind of like nagging. It isn't like not real bad pain or nothing's making me sick. It's just like, it's not quite like, and I've never ever had that in my life. I was always, in summertime, like I said, if it's in rural Pennsylvania, I would be out in the country somewhere, not right next to my house. And I'd leave food in the car, even if it was chicken, I'd be like, it's still warm in the summertime. Nothing would bother me.
Hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes overnight.
Oh, yeah. Nothing would bother me. But recently, just that little nag, it's been a couple of years. So they're, run this test. So one of the tests, just the other couple of weeks ago, they go, we could do a scan or we could do a colonoscopy. I'm like, okay, whatever, we'll do colon. I know that's no big deal. I've had those before. Just makes you a little gassy, big deal. Well, I don't know what happened, but I had a colonoscopy and I ended up in a hospital, in the ER that night. So the final conclusion is it was perhaps a little bit of pancreatitis, I guess. My pancreas was infected. I had cut this finger here. I don't know if some of that could have got in the bloodstream.
He needed 9 stitches.
9 stitches in his finger,
right? He had installed, again, he's super handy, but his hands, we've cut our hands so many times we think he'd wear gloves.
Well, I was stripping a wire, and sometimes it'll just let go, and when it did, it went across this metal piece.
It was so impressive.
Well, we know.
No, we're not going to. Nobody wants to see that except me.
Yeah. So anyways, it could have been that, and there's also, could have this other sort of little dysfunctional thing. We have follow-up doctors.
You just got out of the hospital.
I just got out of the hospital because
Sunday.
Yeah, I went in, had the colonoscopy in the emergency room that night. They said my numbers look good, but I was shaking so much, like I thought it was a septic shock again, because that's the way it was. Like you couldn't even control it. Sent me home, ended up going back Thursday, and they admitted me. I was, like I said, I didn't know that you could be that sick, honestly. That's really how I
even
felt.
with septic shock.
Yes.
And you were in the hospital with the septic shock in and out 4 times. They released you after like a day of keeping you with septic shock, and then you were back in the hospital. But this didn't compare because every day it was just for 5 days.
Yeah, it was just horrible. And I know this might sound a little odd to some people, but with the septic shock, there was a couple different times I really, truly thought I was going to die. I really thought, and I was like, you know, I was never scared or anything like that, you know. And of course, you know, Death has his own versions of that or what they feel, but I wasn't scared or any of that. This particular time, I never felt for a second I was going to die, and that was worse because it would not let up. I mean, I was just shaking, cold sweat running off. It looked like somebody hosed me down. I mean, it was just so bad. And the final, I guess, straw, which some of you hopefully have been nice enough to comment about how much I love my girl.
I love you too.
So
because of COVID, they wanted to admit him, and our only hang up with that, because of how sick he was I wouldn't be able to see him.
Yes.
And he was so sick, it wasn't like, oh, here's a phone.
Yeah.
You could just FaceTime.
That's how sick I was, but she literally drove to the hospital and knew where my room window was.
He had a private room.
Private room, yeah. So it was on the 4th floor. So she went in this back lot and where I could see her, but I was so sick that I didn't even want to get up and look out the window. Yeah. So it was really.
So I would just sit out there and read.
Yeah. So I knew she was close. So that was really, really bad. But I'm so glad some of you have learned of my sickness through various sources. But I'm fine now. I'm on the road to recovery and all that stuff. And I appreciate all of your thoughts and concerns.
So I didn't want to discharge him. He was there Wednesday night. They kept him in the ER from like 11 o'clock we went till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Came back home. You tried to get in the pool. They thought maybe a colonoscopy had stirred up a lot of gas and you just needed to get rid of that.
Yeah, and that is the thing. Gas gets trapped.
Sure, gas is hard.
When she had her gallbladder out, she had some trapped gas across her back, and it was just like the most painful thing for you.
It was painful.
Yeah. Well, not the most, but yes.
Yeah,
it was really painful.
Yeah, it didn't make me black out or anything. But so you tried that. We brought you back to that same hospital. They took you. And because neither one of us, thankfully, have had the virus, and we've been so careful.
Mm-hmm. So, not
we
the
got
virus.
cut off. Yeah, we didn't have the virus. So we were being so careful. So even to go to the emergency room a second time, you know how bad it was. We were throwing everything at you at that point.
Yes. So let's back up then. Where I went?
Yeah, we were throwing some stuff at him. It wasn't brought you back to the emergency room Thursday.
Okay.
They knew they were going to admit you because your numbers, you were wrong about that. Your numbers were showing that smart doctor. She didn't have a pad. She said, just tell me what medications he's on.
And you go, there's like 5 or 7. You even say, like, oh, there's like 5 or 6. She's like, no, that's right, just tell me out.
Yeah. And she's like, she just closed her eye and she's like, okay. Any supplements, any vitamins? And she's like, okay. Amazing. So she was like, his numbers are looking like it might be the pancreas. We'd like to admit him. And they were coming to get you, like, right then. Like, somebody was outside coming to get you. And we were like, whoa, hold up. We're not even sure.
You don't understand. I can't function without my girl. You can't just put me away from her.
Plus, I had no idea they were going to admit you. So we had some things, but, like, I had only brought my phone. We forgot your phone. So you had to take my phone just in case.
Yes. It was whole.
Yeah.
But, like I said, I'm on the way to recovery. And it was the worst ever, but also, and this is important to mention, it was a life-changing illness because I had a whole new, it seems so cliche to say this, but it's a whole new kind of level, I guess. I love this girl so much as it is to go through that and have her take care of me like she did. And it was, it just, when I come home, I was just like, and I was like, I'd watch They
didn't want to discharge him.
They didn't want, and I told her, I said, listen, I'm not trying, I don't want to be this guy to but I said, this is the last day. I said, I don't want to just walk up, but we have to explain to the people there, either release me or I'm coming home, one of the two. So
just because we didn't really feel, again, with the virus, we're not putting this on anybody, but we really didn't feel like...
If they would have been doing something that was helping me, but
there
they said
nothing.
It was just a waiting period to try to get these numbers to come back up. So anyways, and then I don't want to get sidetracked from this too much. The important part is how much it just made me even more sentimental or whatever than I already am, which is like, I've always been a hopeless romantic boy with, your musician, the love songs, a lot of stuff. So, and this was like a life-changing in that it even more perspective of what's really important in life and what's really not, So I'm grateful. I really am. I'm grateful that, number one, it is over. But even the little notch in my growth, I guess, is worth it to just realize how much.
Was it worth it?
Yes, it was for me. Yes, because I never ever want to take you for granted, which I try never to do. But she climbed up a ladder to see me.
There's like this back alley with this like ladder.
But it's kind
of like parallel.
It's one of those ladders, like they have their caged in, so when you get up inside.
Yeah, and I was doing okay this day, obviously, and I went slow.
But obviously, it's something you would never in a minute. That's not something. Even in her best day, she wasn't like the adventurous type. Like, I'll go climb this ladder. So she's like outside the window,
in the back alley of the hospital.
Yeah, like a building or so away, climb up this maintenance ladder, just enough that she could like wave to me. Bless her heart. So we're glad of all of that. It's over, and we're glad we learned from that, and we'll try to keep that in my head. But I don't want to get too, because like I said, I'm already a sentimental guy, so I can't be out, performing and get choked up and start in the middle of a song and stuff. So I have to kind of watch that. But that's the first time that ever happened to me to this extent. I would come home and I'd watch it like, it's the most cutest dog video ever. whatever it was. Everything was just so really.
When you were discharged, you were still so sick.
Oh, so sick. Yeah.
It took days. Last night we went for a walk just around the neighborhood.
Yeah, just a little bit, but
which I shouldn't have done.
She shouldn't have done.
But I was like encouraging him, like, let's get out and walk. And you're like back to eating some foods, like mashed potatoes and soups and like some.
Oh, sure.
Pancreatitis. If it was just that, which we'll find out maybe
hopefully we'll find
next
out,
week.
yes.
We have a televisit with his gastroenterologist and a family doctor follow-up from the hospital.
Yeah.
They were going to send out a nurse. That was the only way they would discharge him. But our insurance, which we picked because our doctors are there, don't have any nurses at this point in this area. And I don't know if it's because of the pandemic or just... She's like, if you lived in Miami's like 4 hours away. Yeah. Why are we even mentioning this? Yeah. But whatever. So no nurse for you.
No nurse for me. That's okay. This is
you're getting great.
That's the most care right here. Okay, I can't get better.
No,
care.
I'm not saying you're getting great care.
I'm saying that.
You're feeling better.
I'm feeling a little better than I was. Yes. Yeah. Oh, compared to what I was, but obviously the sort of little bit of nagging stomach that started this whole thing is still there, so we're still trying to.
Yeah.
But now it's like, a little stomach thing. Who cares?
What's the worst active? I know.
All right, so.
Like my knee goes out. I'm like, it's just my knee going out. It's no big deal. Yes. It's not shocking nerve pain.
Yes. So yes, please don't think I'm fine. I'm fine. So.
Don't think you're fine?
No. I mean, don't think I'm not okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
some people won't even.
But I will actually. This would be a good sort of song reference. We're going to end up with a song reference. It's a good place to song it. So Dwight Yoakam has this. It's not even necessarily a new song, but it's one that I just recently did when I was out sitting in with some of my guys. It's called "It Only Hurts Me When I Cry." So it's like funny lines like it. The only time I feel the pain is in the sunshine or the rain. Huh. And then it says, and I don't feel no hurt at all unless you count when teardrops fall. So that was like my life there, for a little bit. It's like, it was just so bad,
You were so sick.
I was so sick.
And then you're just so thankful not to be that sick.
Yeah. And then, but later on it says, you wouldn't know it from this smile, but my recovery took a while. So that's the current.
You might want to not sing that song for a while.
That's the current. Yeah, right. That's the current state I'm in. Like I'm still in the recovery process, but I'm smiling through it all, so it's not that bad. And I have my girl taking wonderful care of me.
Of course.
Yeah.
You've taken care of me for years, so Couple days.
Okay.
The end.
Yeah, it's not a competition. Okay, so are we done now with our little...
We're done. That's our video.
That's our video for today. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll be back to you with more festivities soon, I'm sure. Ready?
Maybe.
We doing that? Ready?
Yep. 1, 2, 3.
Bloomies! We hope your day is blooming with joy.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We hope your day is blooming with joy.